All right, here we go.
Here we go. Guys, have you ever eaten so much that you immediately just barfed? Not prompted by like a sickness or anything, but you just were like...
When you say immediately...
Okay, maybe not immediately, but...
Give me a guesstimate.
You got like... You finished the meal and it's been about 15 minutes and you're going, something's not right.
Oh, yeah.
I regret it.
And you're going like, it's not long enough to sort of turn into something else. You know, it can only be coming back up where it came from.
Yep.
So that's totally unrelated to my Taco Bell that I had last night.
That happened. The fastest I ever threw up after a meal was in college. I went to a bento box place I used to frequent. Okay,
and those are kind of like generally like kind of light and not too, you know,
light, clean.
Yeah,
you know. And I threw up in the parking lot. Threw up as I was leaving.
Dude, so
as I was
leaving the
leaving,
spot.
I threw up in the parking lot. And I said nothing. I didn't tell anyone. I was just like, I was so like, I remember it was a mixture of emotions because I was like, dude, fuck you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was one of those places where like, I'm really the only one in here most of the time.
Yeah, okay, it's one of those.
And to this day, I haven't eaten a bento box. I haven't. I used to love sushi.
Bento box. Oh, and it's
with
killed
the
it for
teriyaki
you.
chicken, but you know, I don't even eat meat anymore. So like, that's not even happening.
Off the table.
It's off the table anyway, so it's all good.
Okay. You know, and what's funny is there was probably an entirely different drama going on inside the restaurant that you left because they probably saw a man eat there and then leave and immediately vomit their food onto the parking lot. There was like, okay, what the fuck did we do wrong?
Bro, this is the kind of place you walk in and the guy's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
And I would go there because it was $6.
Yeah. It's the kind of place where you're like, is everyone high? But like, even when I'm high, I'm not this spaced out. So like, are you just like so fucking tired and you don't care? You know, it's like, is it that
like,
kind of vibe? Okay.
It's like you're high and you're not trying to hide it and you have contempt for me for walking in the store.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what it is.
I didn't do this. I'm so sorry that this job sucks and it's boring as fuck. But I just came here for lunch. I don't.
Yeah. I think the way...
You know,
being mad that you've entered my store, that's totally fucking real. I've had that vibe all the time. And also it's like, look, different strokes for different folks. You want to get high at work, I guess if you can do it, you can do it. But like, at least try and hide it, you know? If you're not trying to hide it, that's a whole
depends on what
different-
you're getting high on. I've heard waiters with cocaine is like a thing. I've heard waiters getting drunk is like a thing. And some people are like, it makes me better.
I might have told this story before, and so I'm sorry. I think I do that a lot. I tell stories a lot. I repeat stories. But there was a time where exactly like that, Beckett. It was me and my friend Diego. We had just done a theater performance of Little Shop of Horrors, and we were super stoked. It was our opening night. So we were super stoked. So that night, we went back and just like went to a dispensary and got fucking edibles. So it was like, wow, we got edibles. Each cookie was like 100 milligrams, which is not anything that I could ever fucking handle. You could just look at my build and be like, this guy can't handle 100 milligrams. So I had that much. I had the whole cookie not really understanding how high I would get off 100 milligrams. And it was exactly as you said. I was so fucking high the next night. Like at night, I'm doing the theater performance going like, I've never been this stoned. It is 24 hours and I've never been so fucking high in my life. Now I have to go up and like recite lines and sing a musical and shit. But you know.
That's even worse of a fucking nightmare because you have to perform in front of a fucking crowd. Normally when it's like, oh, I'm high at work, it's like, okay, like I might not even have to talk to that many people. You know, if I go into like, I don't know, like class or something back in the day. Yeah. It's like I don't have to actually do anything or say anything to anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
But a fucking performance.
That was like the worst ever. I wanted so badly to like be clear-headed throughout every performance. Like I don't ever want to like be under the influence when like at work, just like you said, like showing up at work and being high, like I just can't do it because I'm like the panic type where I'm gonna look at someone and they're gonna look back at me and I'm just gonna think in my head like they know I'm high. They fucking know.
Do you
I'm
out yourself?
Probably because I'm outwardly going out of my way to like seem not high. So I'll probably be more energetic than I usually would because now I'm trying to counteract the fact that I am high. So it's like, hi, or like the eyes, right? The eyes always give it away. So that's scary. There was another time where I had like, it was my day off of work of a couple jobs ago. And I would just like, fuck yeah, it's my day off. It's like 11:30 a.m. I'm just going to kick back. I'm going to have some coffee. I'm going to smoke some fucking weed. So I got all high on my day off. And I got a call from my boss at noon. And she's like, where are you? What do you mean? It's my day off. She's like, look at the schedule. It's not your fucking day off. So I was like, fuck. So I had to go in and like be high as fuck in front of customers. That was the one time that's happened to me.
I just wouldn't go. I'd forfeit the paycheck.
I really should have done that.
The job.
I'd quit
move the state.
I mean, that's probably something where you just like call in sick, right? Rather than like, I don't know. Who knows? I guess. If you're not
good for you for toughing through that.
I wish I didn't.
You're a braver man than me.
Well, here's what I used to do. I used to have these fake, just clear glasses, and in my head that was like a barrier between you and I. You can't tell that I'm high in my eyes anymore because I'm wearing like fake prescription glasses. So that was a sort of method.
Protection.
And whether or not it actually made me look more or less high, it gave me the comfort, which I think is the most important.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like
all mental.
I feel it's all mental. It's all mental. So that is, yeah, that's terrible. That's a nightmare story. We have a story about how we got high on stage.
Well, we
I swear we've told this. Maybe I feel like it's too cool of a story for us not to tell.
It's like, not a cool. It's like the least cool fucking.
It's actually dorky as fuck. It gives you an insight to like how dorky.
It was just like we just were like 18 and we were like, let's smoke before a show.
Let's smoke before a show in the parking lot at the bar. Let's smoke before the show.
And we got high and like one person in the band was playing out of key, completely in another key. And we did a cover of Tame Impala's "It Feels Like We're Only Going Backwards."
Feels like we're only.
I'm sorry. It feels like we only go backwards.
It feels like we only go backwards.
So
not only were we high as fuck, but now I'm playing the part, which in my head I'm so sure it's right, but someone is off key. So I'm like freaking out, like, oh, something is wrong. Oh, it's not me. Oh, I can't do anything about it. I just have to keep playing my part.
Yeah.
This is the worst pain ever. So I had really long hair at the point. I just like sunk behind the hair and like went into the corner and just kept playing my part as if we weren't totally fucking out of key. That was the worst. Was the worst feeling ever. Like,
there's no worse feeling than when you're playing a show and you know it's going bad and you feel helpless doing it. There's nothing like it.
You can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it.
My pedal board. I've gotten hell and back with my fucking pedal board. Just like, there's always something fucked up.
Shit shutting off.
It's never just like, I've tried to optimize it to a point where like I used to just use like one of those like, I still have it. Like it's like a multi-effects processor. Like it's nerdy as fuck. I mean, I had like one thing where you click a preset and it's just like one thing, and that would even get fucked up constantly. I mean, like it's just so hard when you're like, when you're bringing gear to a show. It's just like there's always just in like a DIY setup. I'm sure it's like, but that's also part of like the risk of it, and it makes it more fun and intense. And so it's not all bad.
Yeah, we made it work. I mean, I remember some times where your shit would crap out, and you would be clearly down there like fucking banging on it, like trying to get it to work, and people in the audience would be like with you, like like trying to like hype you up, like come on, get it working before
Echo Park Rising.
Yeah.
That was before we went on, and like, my shit just didn't. It just stopped. It was the worst case scenario. Also, it's the least organized thing in the entire. I don't even know if they still do it, but like there used to be this thing in LA called Echo Park Rising, and it was really cool because there was like a bunch of. They'd have bands everywhere in Echo Park, like every bar.
It was super cool.
It was super cool. Every nook and cranny, there was like a band playing. And like we were playing at the Echo, which is where you always want to play at Echo Park Rising. It's like the coolest place to play. And it took us years to start doing that. And then we had this like great time slot. And we had like agents coming out and shit. And this is before we had an agent. And it was like, oh shit.
This is a big show for us. It was a big show for us.
The stakes were big.
The stakes were so high. And like, I mean, we walked up and I'd had everything rehearsed to like, I put this down, I click this button. I put this down, I plug this into here. It's all good, no big deal. And of course, it shat out.
Yeah, it shat out completely.
it's so shitty because there's nothing you can do in that moment.
Yeah.
It's not like, did I like plug it in wrong? It's like, no, like there is nothing.
And it's like I can't just plug into my amp and play without like with just completely dry. Like it's gonna sound like fucking shit.
Yeah,
we have,
it just
like,
doesn't
Asians
work.
Here.
So we were trying, but I felt that show was like great though. Like,
that was the best show.
No,
ever.
it was fine. It
was an amazing show.
It ended up being fine.
It was.
We sounded good. We sounded good that night.
We sounded good, and it was a super fun time for us. The crowd was like super awesome, and we, like you said, we had that great time. Like we still had the great time slot in the great location. So it was like,
it was dope.
I wonder if they're still doing that. That is like a total anti. COVID, like there's just it's hard with COVID restrictions.
I cannot wait to play
social distancing
again when we put out this album.
Yes, dude,
release show. Gonna be fucking lit.
It's gonna be huge, and if you're watching this, you better be there.
The great return of Younger Hunger.
It will be our grand return. It will be like our reprise. You know, it's like kind of like we had the end. In like an Abbey Road terms, like we had the end, but like here comes Her Majesty. You know, we're not done yet. Like
it was like our Madison Square Garden send-off show 2015, and then we come back in 2019. You know, to boost our ticket sales.
Yeah,
like we retired to
LCD
then just
sound system.
Not to unretire. Just this is basically in the normal time that you'd wait to put an album out.
Yeah. Okay,
we're on our Jay-Z Kingdom Come era.
We're on every rapper ever.
Wait,
Logic,
hydroponic
Logic.
Just we're smoking that chronic with that Logic. Wait, did you guys see the video of LCD Sound System coming out of retirement to play like some horrible NFT?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
They've been out of retirement for like a bit.
Well,
they did.
Yeah.
They did like a surprise.
They did do the board ape.
Yeah, it was like the yacht club. Everyone look it up. Maybe you can put the sorry to get stuff to edit.
If they're paying the right price, I'm playing that show.
Well, clearly, but also like I don't know. It's like for me, yeah, I'm down. I wouldn't give a fuck about playing to the crowd. Everyone go look at the video before we talk about it. Maybe Becky,
I haven't seen the video, so I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I've seen the video.
Maybe you can put it up on the
really
screen
bad
for the watchers so they don't have to find it. Look up LCD Sound System Bored Ape Yacht Club, maybe something like that. But it's a shot of the stage, a cell phone video, shot of the stage, and you're kind of looking and you're like, man, this person's like pretty close to the stage. And as they're turning around, you just see like nobody's there. Nobody's watching. No one's listening. There's maybe like one or two pockets of just people, like single people, just like kind of moving their shoulders, but it's like it is a fucking ghost. No one is even paying attention.
I think if I was LCD at that moment, I'd be kind of like laughing because they're so big that they could go play.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, like, once in a while, if that just some weird shit happens like that.
Yeah, right.
So much. Did you see the rest of the lineup?
No, I didn't.
It was like Haim was on there.
Yeah, you know, I did see that.
I'm
yes,
blanking on who
yes.
else, but it was like 4 like huge artists.
Really big art. I mean, that makes sense. They have like they just throw all the money they can at that. It's like
I'm gonna have to get myself a beautiful caricature of a monkey.
Yeah,
you know?
but it's just funny to where it's like. You're so down to. I don't know. It was definitely like, of course, I'd be doing that too. But also, like, bro, there are, like, people in the world that would be, like, dying to fucking be at that show right now. And just to see all the people not even give a fuck that LCD Sound System is playing.
So it's you had to buy an NFT.
It's some exclusive event.
Get in.
It's some exclusive thing. Yeah. It's like...
You know, it's like bands, when you get really big like that, I've heard... We would have no idea. But, like, we've done shit like this. Like, to a lesser extent, but, like, corporate event type thing where you like go somewhere because somebody's like paying you better to go. Actually, we never really gotten paid well for a show. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. We've ever gotten like a good check.
No, we've never gotten a good check.
Yeah.
One day,
we have gotten paid.
Yeah,
but like legally, you know, like the legal amount you need to pay someone for that to be like.
We haven't played a show in years and years. We like last time we played a show, we had like 12,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. So.
That is true. Yeah, we were a very different band last time we played a show. That is
years ago.
That is very. We were in such a different place. It's very weird.
Very weird. But you know what? I want to say, I feel like the curve has been rounded on this album. I feel the drudges are out. Things are looking good.
Yeah.
I feel like
The pistons are lubed up and they're
dude. the sound is there.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of lube.
We got like half the songs are there.
Yeah,
at least. And I keep saying that, but truly half the songs are there. I think we got like 8 songs right now, and I think the sound is like it's super different for us, but also I feel like it feels very younger, hungry. Like it's been discovered the area, and we're mining it. And I feel like the aesthetic is getting there. The content is there. I'm so fucking excited. And it has taken a long time to get to that place.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling good for the first time about it. I was pretty stressed about it, to be honest, for the last month.
Yeah. You were just playing it cool to the camera.
Well, I felt like we had a really good run. I'd made some demos I was really like proud of. And I was like, well, this is like it. But then it's been like a month and a half since like of just being confused, which is just, man, making records is just like that. I think it's just like
really
that. I think there's just,
you go in waves.
I think if you care, there's just ought to be confusion. I don't know if it's just like this point when you're making your first album or whatever, but like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's where we are, and as you may have noticed, we are deep in now to the podcast, but I am sitting on this slide, and the reason that's really important is because I think this is the first time I've ever been out of reach of the sound drop board. And
welcome to all.
And Tony, you
Feels
are
good. I've never been able to.
Yeah,
touch
I was gonna say you are in the primary spot now, so we all and the viewers as well. We all have very high expectations for you. To
the power I'm feeling is
to bring a lot of the hype.
Unbelievable.
I wanted to coin a term, and I thought maybe I'd bring it here because I've been watching certain things and playing things to where I'm just going like, okay, maybe this is like a thing. The term is new term. Everybody ready? Sound the alarm. The term is. Thank you. We have that. Yeah. Nice. The term is woe bait. Maybe that means something to you. I'll go to explain it.
That already means something.
I don't know
to
what you think, but here I'll explain it. Woe bait to me is when a piece of art is created and it's specifically making turns or doing things that are just meant for you to see and go, whoa. Whereas they're not that actually substantive. They're just sort of like, whoa, we're just gonna fill your head with shit. Like Matrix is almost like that, but Matrix is cool, right? It's not quite too woe baity. They sort of equal it out. But
now, when you said woe bait, I was thinking more of like, and this is an extreme example. I was thinking you were talking about like Transformers, where it's like a beautiful stunning visual masterpiece.
Yes,
there's no denying that. There's nothing fucking like they made an entire movie.
Yeah, 2,000 animators sat behind a computer and worked their asses off to make the most beautiful looking fucking.
It's crazy,
yeah.
But it's a horrendous piece of shit. All of the movies, the Universal Studios ride, they're all terrible. I won't hear anything else. They're fucking horrible franchise. And the movie, it's like, to me, because I've often battled with this idea of substance in art, where it's like, and I'd like to know your opinions on this, and I think I actually do have a pretty good idea, but I would like to hear. Like, to me, it's like, I wrote a song yesterday where I was like, I don't know why it felt good, but it did. And I was like, I don't want to get deep on this. I want it to just be storytelling, and I want to follow the story rather than... Usually I'll go into this mode of like, okay, I have this initial nugget of an idea, and like now I'm gonna like, how can I extrapolate? How can I change? I'm gonna change all the lyrics from my initial scat and then like make it about my life or something.
Yeah.
But this one I was like, I'm just gonna pursue the random story that I came up with that has nothing to do with my life. And then I felt at the end that it like, even though it was a lot of style, no substance, I was like, I'm just gonna write words I like, you know, I'm just gonna chase this like sort of just this impulse feeling that I like. And I got to the end and I was like, man, this actually, even though this has nothing to do with the story of this song, has nothing to do with my life, I felt like, fuck, like but it feels like the message underneath it is something I definitely feel. So it's like I got to the meaning at the end, but my intention was not to make something deep. But it felt deep to me at the end. It felt relevant to me.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, what do you guys think about that? What is does art need to have substance? Is that the whole
Well, I think there probably is substance to that. And I think on one hand, even if it's not directly about you, like there still is like your truth in there. I mean, think of like if you're a screenwriter, you know, you're writing a movie. Like, I mean, I wasn't in the building that Die Hard took place in, but I probably like felt something when I was writing it. You know, like Tarantino didn't live like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but like it's still, you have to like put yourself into it a little bit. Like there's a truth in there with it. You don't have to like live the story, but yeah, and there probably is substance there. I think substance can also, if it moves you, there's substance. You know, maybe you don't know how to articulate, like explain what that is right away, but if it moves you, there is substance.
I feel that. As annoying and unexplainable as an answer that could be, I do feel like sometimes it's just even what can surface level or like what is socially seen as substanceless can, if it's like irking some sort of feeling out of you, then I think there's substance to that. Like, yeah, I don't know. Now I'm trying to think of an example, but I just feel like, well, whatever. We talk about like how Playboy Cardi, where it's like there's some things where it's like, okay, maybe not in the traditional sense this is like substantive, but it is, I guess, in like a sound and artistic way.
But there's
like
nothing that feels like Playboy Cardi. There's
Right,
nothing
right,
that
right.
moves me the way that, even though it's not like in a deep philosophical moving kind of way, but it's like, it does like, there's a reason people like it.
Yeah.
And there's a reason it's better than a lot of the other shit that tries to sound like it.
Right. Yeah, he's got his unique kind of style. Well, I think that still works for Woe Bait, what you were saying about like Transformers. I was thinking on like an art house movie kind of level, because I've seen like indie movies that just like throw shit in your face and you think it's building towards something, and it's all just like a whoa, like all just meant to be like trippy. What the fuck?
See, and that to me, like even like I saw The Lighthouse,
You were
right?
dead the
Which
whole
is a movie I
time?
liked.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
liked
yeah.
that, but it was a very like art house style film. It was very psychedelic. It was very like it was fucking crazy. It was the craziest.
It's the weirdest.
I don't even know what's
it's
going
like
on.
Funny and
half the time, and I
then
don't
like
think
weird.
they necessarily knew what was going on.
Sure.
I think that if to feel like I think it, I don't know, man, because it's like that is Woe Bait, but I like it.
Yeah,
not to poke
I
holes
don't.
in the Woe Bait. I'm challenging the. Can there be good Woe Bait?
No, I think there can. I was playing this game Control, and the whole idea, and this is where I came up with this term, and the whole idea of Control is like, okay, you're just like a girl with a pistol running through like a house. Okay, there's like a million games like that. But then all of a sudden, like reality is like unfolding, and like the panels of the wall are levitating, and you start to get these powers where you can just fly, and it just becomes like, it gets like fucking crazy.
Transformers.
Yeah, but it's so fun to do that, like gameplay wise. It's so fun. I could just float around and shoot people and then pick them up, and it's like, oh my god, everything's falling apart. It's so fun, but the story is like, it tries to be so bonkers and like smart that it's just fucking stupid and means nothing. Like frankly, and I feel like there are some. I saw this movie Beyond the Black Rainbow. I know no one's seen this. This is an old like indie art house movie. And I really fucking wanted to like it, and I just couldn't. It Woe Baited me. It was just like, just scenes of, I don't know, like a Nicholas Winding Refn film. You guys have seen Drive, right? Like, yeah. So after Drive, it was all like, he's like, now I'm gonna push it. Yeah. You know, where now it was like, he did the Neon Demon, which was a cool movie, but it was a little like, Woe Baity is a little too far, and I don't know. I still really respect him as a filmmaker, but it just feel like, while there's also like that Transformers level of we're just gonna blow your mind with crazy effects and crazy fights, there's like the indie side of that too, where we're just gonna fucking blow your mind with like thoughts. We're gonna make you fucking think, bro. Like, oh, you don't like it? You didn't fucking get it. You know? It's like that's the indie
worst.
version of that.
That's
and then it's like, no, I'm not stupid. Okay, your movie's stupid. Like, I'm sorry. Okay, it's not me.
I'm allowed to not like it.
Yeah, like, it's like it's not me. Okay.
I do think you kind of narrow your audience with something like that. Like, I mean, if you're into like some like niche interests, like there's gonna be like some shit that people aren't gonna get. Like I think, like I'm really into like, you know, like some obscure like ambient synth shit.
Yeah.
You know, that a lot of people would say is bored, but it's like, oh, I fucking love this. This is my shit.
Right.
Like maybe it's a little like heady, maybe it's that, but that's my shit. And then you can go down the street and someone's like, oh, like I only give a fuck about lyrics, and they have like the most like, like slice of life, like Father John Misty type shit, where they're just kind of like telling stories and are a little humorous but a little dry. Like that's like a specific thing, and like not everyone can get into it, but it's also the beauty of art. Like if you're like diving in on that niche, then like that's a beautiful thing.
This is a conversation that is not going to get answered, but it's at the end of the day, it's like, but what is good? Because there is good. There is good art and there's bad art. There is. I don't think that it's
you have
like,
good art and bad art.
I don't know. I think there's some things that are just good and some things that are like Damn is just good. I feel like, or like To Pimp a Butterfly is just good.
Right.
I know, but there's people that dislike both of those albums.
But that doesn't mean it's not good. That it would be stupid.
I think there's like an
objective,
like you can lay out like a list of like of something being objectively good. Like I agree. Like
this is an
like,
unending.
Things can be.
There's no answer.
There's no answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you have to line
you.
out like what criteria defines like objectively good.
I think at the end of the day, the root of it is just authenticity.
Yes, I was just fucking gonna say like if it's being made from a genuine place, then that's art. Fuck it, like that's art. I don't know, like
if it moves you, it's art.
First, but I don't mean that though.
Not even that.
I mean like there's stuff that is. It's not like this is good music for me. This is good music for that person. There's stuff that everyone can agree on is like good, or most people would agree on is good. Like what is that? There's an objectivity to. Some things are just better than other things. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, I would rather listen to like Speeding Bullet to Heaven than I would some like corporate pop artist product album. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I feel that.
At least there is some sort of genuine thought, and like there was
to watch something that just incredibly didn't work.
Yeah. You
know what I mean?
I mean, there's like an effort there, like, and maybe it wasn't seen through to its fullest, but I would appreciate that way more than some like horrible, like hackneyed fucking whatever, some product of a song.
No, bro, he needed to make that album. I honestly think, like in retrospect, like as much as that album is objectively bad, I think, I don't think it's underrated. I don't think it's like a hidden masterpiece like people try to act like it is now. Like I think it's bad, and I think it's okay that it's like I revere him for making a shitty album that he committed to trying. He really tried.
He actually committed.
It's the same thing with like Justin Timberlake's that Man of the Woods album.
Right.
I respect the attempt. I'd rather you fucking swing and just miss.
He went for something as opposed to like sitting on the fence to try to get the most. To try to get the biggest audience from whatever you're releasing.
No.
Like, I want to make hip hop and I want to make pop punk.
Yeah, and
talking about a specific artist,
everyone, dude.
It's
fucking everyone.
That's true.
Right
that's
now.
everyone. But it's just like
that's the worst.
It's like, bro, I know what you do. You go home, you listen to Drake. Like, why you're just out here making this fucking shit because, like, you know it's gonna sell. You know it's gonna make money.
And you know
speaking
what?
Of,
it doesn't even though. Like, I'm sorry. Don't forget that thought. I just wanted to say one more thing about this. Like, I think that it's the level to which you will commit, plus. Like, honestly, I don't know how to explain this. You just go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that just furthers the point of, like what you value in art. Like look at this.
No, I disagree.
Well, because some people do not care that like Kid Cudi like took a risk. Some people do not care like, oh, I want like Man on the Moon. Like some people do not give a single fuck about it.
Yeah.
But like I wake up and like I write music every day, and it's like, oh, to see someone trying to do something different, it's like, okay, that's inspiring. Like we value that.
Yeah.
But like there's so many people that do not value that. Like
but I'm saying that's a bad album. Me valuing something and me knowing it's good is not the same thing. I think that I can still appreciate things that are bad, that are objectively bad. Like I'm interested in, I will not give up. Maybe it's stupid, and maybe you're right, and maybe it all just is subjective, but I don't really... There is objectivity, from what I can see, to some degree, and I think that there's certain things that you can see patterns in the way that certain artists, like really good artists, all do certain things. Like, I think the thing I was going to say before was, like, I think you need to be willing to humiliate yourself to be a good artist. I think you would need to be willing be willing to publicly humiliate yourself.
This is the same with being an actor or anything. You need to like be able to let yourself go and just like take all the bindings off and just like be free and be as unabashedly fucking wild as you possibly can, because that's fucking what it takes. Like you have to just throw yourself out there. You can't fucking... And so he went for that. Like he took that dive and went himself out there. And I feel like that's a genuine... I don't know. I feel like that's a very genuine effort to me. And I feel like it's made his comeback stronger almost in a way.
Like people take him more seriously as an artist now.
Yeah. People were happy to sort of see that, I don't know, that he had come back to a sound. We're happy to have his sound back and like what he's kind of doing now. And also, I do feel like the emotions he was feeling in that were genuine. Like all of his like depression and suicide shit. So I mean, there's someone out there who listened to that album and fucking felt it. So what can I say?
I do understand what you're saying now. I think like there are objectively like rules and patterns, and you don't have to follow the rules, but there are like things that generally seem to work from like an art perspective, like certain framing techniques in a shot, or like song structures and like way that you can structure melodies and stuff like that will make stuff generally tend to work better. So I get what you're saying. Like there is like an objective like framework.
The hero's journey.
Well, I mean, like I'm just like, I think I'm not even talking about like it's not about like specific. I almost feel like the more I learn about this shit, like the more I realize like, yeah, I think I feel like I just learned the meaning of like experimentalism the other day. I was just like, because I've had my connotations of like that word in my head of my entire life. Like I've known what like that's experimental music.
Yeah.
Like I've always liked music. I've always been interested in music. Like I feel like I knew what that was. And honestly, I think the way I've been thinking about it is just weird. But like to me, when I feel like I'm making good music, I feel like I feel like I'm experimenting with something versus following. I feel like good and experimental are two different things, and they're almost opposite things. And it doesn't mean that they don't intersect, because they do. There's things that are good and experimental, but to pursue goodness is to pursue form and accuracy of form, which is a fucking amazing skill. You have people like Max Martin in music, or like that are just consistently fucking for 20 years, or Pharrell. Like Pharrell's a little bit more experimental, but Pharrell does stick to like there's certain things Pharrell just does all of his hits have like. I don't even want to get into a rabbit hole, but like there's with both of them, it's like they're amazing at that. But then there's people who are like the really kind of groundbreaking, world-changing artists that typically don't get like the rewards as much as the ones who are just really good. But like those artists are the ones who like I think they're like following. They're so in touch with like how something feels and how they know they're so in touch with their feelings and their sensibilities. And they're like, that's what like I strive to be. That's what I strive to like. I think that's the stuff I like. I think it's like it's like Tame Impala is poppy but experimental. It's
right.
Like, and when it's not experimental, I don't like it. When he goes to like formulaic rhythm, I don't want it, because like the part of the sauce is like I don't know, like, or Kendrick is extremely experimental.
Yeah.
Like they're doing experiments to try to see if some things work. And I think if you are experimental, inevitably you're going to make something bad.
Yes.
And it's okay.
You can't truly be experimental if you're not touching, or you're the luckiest person in the world, and the first experimental thing you try is like. But
eventually,
but eventually,
you know, like
no matter what, it will happen. Like, so
you're gonna fuck up a lot more than you're gonna. You might never make something that's like objectively good.
That is the plight of the pursuit of great art. I think comedians probably struggle the same. Even like well-established comedians will go up and still have like bombing sets. Well, they'll go and like, even though they're a big name, they'll still bomb at places because it's like, well, I was just fucking trying. I was experimenting with a new bit or experimenting with whatever.
Yeah.
Like you will fucking eventually, if you're truly pursuing something that's trying to push the boundaries, then you will come across that. So Kid Cudi had his moment.
Yeah, you can't run away from humiliation. You have to like embrace it. I think
you gotta embrace it.
I don't know. What the fuck do I know?
And yeah. And be cringe, right? Like be okay, because like behind all good cringe is someone trying their best. And that is like nothing I will ever hate on. Like that is fucking cool. Good for you.
I feel like I have hated on it. I've hated on it, and I've been shitty.
We've been shitty.
I've been shitty, and I think even that, like, I regret, but like, I think it's okay.
We're all just having fun,
I think it's part of. There's risks. There has to be risks involved.
Like we said, yeah. I'm like,
it's the way of the world. I think people should be able to be mean about art for sure. I of course believe that. I think. Yeah. It's weird to me sometimes. I think about it and I'm like, there's people who just like being a musician or something is like, it's such a weird thing that like people are waiting to publicly humiliate you. Like there's people whose their whole job is to shit on you.
Yeah.
And we don't accept bullying in pretty much any other. It's like the only like it's mass bullying, mass cyberbullying.
It pretty much is. Yeah. That's very true. But like,
am I wrong?
Well, no, you're not wrong. But the reward is more grand than you can ever imagine. The fame and the fortune. For every like, that's pretty terrible. But for every person that's hating you, there's two that love you, right? Like, isn't that always how it is? Like the minority is always so much louder with their opinions, or also like. Or like comments, you're reading comments, like someone who liked the video probably didn't comment because they're like, yeah, I agree. But so maybe it's only people who disagree that fucking, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So let's just fucking be nice to each other, guys. Let's just fucking... Yeah, so get it passed around, whoa bait. Next time you watch a movie that was like, fuck, that was all CG fights, that was some whoa bait. Or that was like all fucking college film student bullshit. Whoa, babe.
Or a multiverse film.
Or multiverse. You guys remember Doctor Strange where like 15 minutes in they go to the multiverse and it's just like just an assault on your senses. They go through one portal, they come out another, they're at a cartoon where and you're just like, fuck. Stop it.
So I heard something pretty interesting that reminded me of with all the senses.
Okay.
When you watch a film, like like humans been watching movies for like a century at this point almost.
The motion picture,
and because of that, people dream kind of like how you would in a movie. Have you heard of this?
Dreaming in black
and white.
Do you know
where I'm coming?
Am I about to say
no, I don't know about
black
and
white.
Like
when movies were in black and white, there was this trend of people would dream in black and white.
Yes.
And even when picture came to color, like those people still would dream in black and white, but then people started like
it started to get the
newer generation.
I learned that in psychology. That was the weirdest fucking thing ever. That was the weirdest fucking thing. How does that make any sense?
Crazy.
Like, you're so influenced by the way you're consuming media that it's invading. And it's funny because it's like it's not like they're living their life in black and white. Like they're not taking the events from their life. That's so fucking weird. Like that whole thing makes no sense to me. Sorry. I woe baited you guys just there.
It's trippy, but it gets even trippier.
Wait.
Because it's like a visual perception. It's kind of like the closest thing you have to dreaming because you're not experiencing it, but you're watching it kind of like how it might
like
be
the TV.
in a dream.
Yeah, okay.
They're saying that in the future that, how like the people couldn't see color before, there's going to be apparatuses and whatnot where like smell is going to be such a part of our like perception, like people are starting to like dreaming smells.
Oh, I like that. Like a scratch and sniff dream.
Scratch and sniff.
That's
dream.
Nice.
That's crazy.
I had a smell in my dream once. Is when I pissed myself. One time I pissed myself at a friend's house when I was like a kid in middle school, which is like the worst disaster you could ever have.
That's the worst
in the dream or in real life, or did you have the dream? It became a reality.
Here's what the dream was, and I remember it because it was so silly. In the dream, it was just how I was. Like I was sitting on the couch at this person's house. Shout out. I peed on your couch. We got drunk when we were 14. And in the dream, a bulldog had come, a random no one owned a bulldog. A bulldog had come and sat on my lap and then just started pissing. And then like as it was pissing, I realized like, wait, there's no bulldog here. Oh my God. And I'm waking up like I'm just fucking pissing myself, like sleeping on the couch.
Dude, that's a thing.
Someone's fucking.
Oh, that happened to me when I was like a kid. Yeah, I feel that.
If you have
I was like
dream
14. We had drunk a bunch of alcohol. We went into dad's liquor locket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Liquor closet or whatever the fuck you call it. Liquor locker. Thank you. Just pissed myself. And in the dream, it was like a bulldog came and pissed on me. But
Did you drink?
Did I?
Did you drink any cacti after going through the?
I didn't drink any cacti in the cellar. No, I didn't have any cacti in the cellar. I'm sorry, Trav.
I never knew you pissed yourself when we were 14.
I pissed myself at house on his sectional couch.
Did you tell him?
No fucking way.
Did it leave like a?
If I was an adult, like now, I would tell him, but not when you're like 14. You're like, oh, a rumor's gonna get. I was just like, no way, I could. No,
But
I
was
didn't
there
tell
like
him.
a stain? I mean, like.
Well, yeah, I just removed the couch cushion and took it into the bathroom and fucking.
Tried to fix
like,
it.
oh,
I
something was fucked up. They tore apart your couch.
He was sleeping downstairs in his room, and then we were all up in the living room, which was upstairs.
Yeah.
So I had woken up at like 6 o'clock or whenever nature called, and Tristan, our buddy Tristan, was there on the couch, but he was asleep. He was like fucking.
Oh, you're.
He was
golden.
hibernating.
That's the
I could
best
do whatever.
person to
Yeah,
be.
he was not going to wake up. So
I've decided that we should never have Tristan on the podcast.
Yeah,
because
he's just
a
an
mystical
enigma.
character. It's gonna ruin it if we
he
have
just
him on
shows up
here.
in every story
Yeah,
where
he
it's
doesn't
like,
have
wait,
social
Tristan
media.
was
No
there?
one knows what he looks
Who's
like.
this
Nobody
guy,
knows what
Tristan?
Yeah, no, we should.
So So then I just waked up and I woke up and just took the cushion and the cover of the cushion into the restroom, which was like connected to the living room, and was just in there like
scrubbing away. Yeah.
scrubbing away for however long, and then kind of hung it out there, and oh, it's dry. Okay, I guess I'll just put it back. So I didn't give it.
Whatever.
I didn't give it like the full wash, like a throw it in the washer wash, probably like it should have. and I just put it right back where it was without telling him. So I'm sorry. I was 14.
Sounds like they never found out.
They never found out. I did a damn good
then
job.
what does it matter?
And look,
who are you hurting?
Look, it wasn't a big puddle.
You did kind of just like
because I had my pants,
dox
I had my
yourself right now.
jeans on. I just so it was like, the remnants of what made it through the jeans was on the. Yeah, sometimes you just got to be out. You got to be honest. That's a part of my 2022 resolution. You just.
Is this still working?
I don't know. I don't. Well, I don't know. We were talking about smells and dreams.
I
and,
appreciate you telling
hey,
the honest truth.
that's the first time I've been honest about that. You're out there. I did say your full name. Maybe someone should. But that's a very
there's a
common
million
name.
We can
Yeah,
bleep
no
it
one's
out.
gonna find him.
well, how do I?
Is there a pee pee poo poo stinks like?
Stinks like shit.
Where's the? Yeah.
Thank you.
for telling the truth.
I'm just being honest here, and and we've done work, and I feel like peeing. It's funny because peeing is more embarrassing than barfing, even though barfing
For
is
sure.
technically less natural. You're not really supposed to vomit if
and
you're
it's
healthy.
much
Funny way
worse
to
of a
look at it.
cleanup.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And it's fucking. I think. I don't know if I had to drink one. I think I'm doing piss. Honestly, I think I'm doing piss.
I'm definitely doing piss.
Yeah. I'm not doing the stomach acid and no. I'm not doing barf. So
Yeah, I don't want to see no bento box in there.
Well,
Yeah.
barf is objectively worse because there's also like stomach acid.
yeah,
in barf.
exactly.
There's
Like you could
stomach
literally
acid
melt
in
in it.
barf.
See, and it's like, but if I had barfed, you could fess up to that, and people would be like, "Well, yeah, you got drunk, you barfed. Yeah, that's fine." And, like, there's
Nice,
less of
dude.
a
Oh,
stigma.
that's so
But if I went
fucked
pee pee in
up.
my sleep, then it's thank you.
Thank
then
you
it's
for
like
standing up for pee.
yeah. Then it's like, look at this baby. He poop we pee pee like a baby. Like then it's like this
it's
whole.
funny where we draw like lines.
we draw like the bile.
I find myself
lines.
drawing. I'm more as I get older. I get more and more confused.
Yeah.
About why we draw certain lines where we draw them. I think about it all the time. Like why? There's
Why-
certain things
yeah.
we do that just don't make any sense. Why we draw the line there?
Yeah. Like why we stop at this point.
Like why are
We
you not
don't.
allowed to talk about sex openly?
Yeah.
Why do we no one?
Is that
talks
just a
about
U.S.
sex.
thing? That because we're so Puritan
No.
about sex here, but we love like guns and killing people.
I feel like we talk about
Because they can
sex
show-
is talked about all
like
the time.
nudity. Like if you walked around naked,
yeah,
which is how you came into this fucking world,
yeah,
True.
then I mean you're a freak. You're going to jail.
yeah. You're fucked up. Well, and we were also talking about like where we draw the line with like running, where it's like if you're like running everywhere in regular clothes, that's weird. But if you're running in like shorts and no shirt, if you just pop that shirt off, then it looks normal. You know, like if you're just jogging somewhere.
Yeah, that was a perfect example. That check the last podcast.
No, that was a lost episode, right?
Shit.
Yeah. See, you guys don't know. You have unseen content.
Okay, I have a weird thought, and this is a dark thought, and I'm gonna say it.
Get dark, bro.
It's not that dark.
Tony's going dark mode.
No, when we moved here, I really there's a middle school across the street. Okay.
Yes.
A lot of minors, and I'm just saying, and we live because it's relevant.
Okay, this is getting dark.
We are within like 10 yards of a middle school, okay? And I'm getting naked every day. In my house, of course in my house, of course. But I'm technically like 20 yards away from a bunch of little kids playing like soccer at recess.
Yeah.
And I'm naked right here.
Maybe you didn't close the window.
Or what if I didn't close the window? What if I do something where like
I got out of the shower, wasn't thinking about it.
I had this like, panic for like a second, and it's irrational, of course. But I'm like, well, what if I was like naked and I was like, I don't know, walking around naked?
Yeah,
as I like to do sometimes. It's my damn house.
I loved it.
It's my damn house.
I love doing it.
I'm walking around, and the window's open, and for some reason, some kid sees me in my home, naked. And I'm only 10 yards away from a middle school. Can a cop knock on my door and tell me that I'm a sex offender now?
That's a good question.
What is
That's a really good question.
It's this weird like cross section of. I googled it. I really went in deep. I was just curious. I'm not.
You're gonna be on the fucking CIA watchdog list.
Well, think about
those
little skater kids that like come and like try and like ride down our driveway.
I know.
You know? It's like they're on a property.
They might see dong if they look left too quickly. You know.
I mean, there's all kinds of weird.
Well, do you remember that that whole controversy of like, yo, Justin Bieber fucking showed his dick, dude. He showed his fucking dick. Paparazzi caught his dick, and it was like, and then you look at the photo, and it's him. It's him in his home, like he's naked, and it's like through a glass, like door. That was crazy. And it's like you're fucking poking your camera into this man's home. It's like you're gonna see, you're gonna see dick.
No, like, you know what? I really turned around. Justin Bieber. I've talked a lot of shit in my life.
Okay.
I probably out of jealousy. Because he's so...
Everyone did.
We saw that hog.
Everyone did.
He's so damn talented, and he has a giant dick.
He's so dang talented.
I don't even know if it was giant. It was just like a normal dick. It was nice.
I think it was a nice size, like 27-year-old hog.
They caught him, if I remember, this is the best way you could catch someone with their dick. It was like he had clearly just... I don't want to get into the nitty gritty too much, but he had just been banging. He had just been banging.
It wasn't full flaccid.
It was clear. You know what? It was not, and it was the best. If you're gonna leak if you have a picture of you
want to have just
it's gonna leak. I'm hoping it looks good. Because they fluctuate.
There is such a thing as a good and a bad dick pic. Like you could just have it looking like a fucking hollowed out tree bark or a fucking beautiful elephant trunk. It's all about the angle, at what time of day, how's the weather outside, like everything plays a factor into like what you can, it's like a Picasso. It's
absolutely.
Everything is super.
And by the way, what is beauty? Who's to say?
Like it is Picasso in the eye of the beholder. You see that Twilight Zone episode?
All right, so for the visual watchers on the podcast today, Justin's dick pic will be right here. So that in. So look forward to that.
Click the dick and you'll go.
And if you're listening on Spotify,
$5
watch
off.
us on YouTube too.
Yeah, watch us on YouTube. Come on, baby. Get this podcast. Show your friends. Make us some damn money. We need some ads on here.
One time I was like, is when I had super long hair for a while, and then I cut it to get super short. And I was sending our friend, unnamed roommate, a video of like my hair, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna like sneak my ass into this video. So I was like, it was me in the bathroom, and then I had the medicine cabinet drawer open as well. So it was like the mirrors, double mirrored, were angled right, where if you look in the medicine cabinet mirror, you can just see my my cute little ass cheeks, but I'm talking to the camera like, yo, it's my new haircut, but in the background it's my ass.
It's a big move.
It is fucking great. It reminds me.
What did he say, dude? What did he say?
He was like, oh, fucking hilarious. I think he loved it. This was back in that first place we lived in together. This was years ago. But I just sent it. Like, I remember like going out of my way to do it too. Like, I was fully clothed and I was like, okay. And I just stripped down and was like, all right, let's film a vid. Did you ever see that?
That's so funny, man.
What's that? Wait, didn't Nathan Fielder? What's that Nathan Fielder interview?
Yo, he put out. Did you guys see a new show?
No, it's out.
Oh my god, the first episode came out. I don't even want to spoil it. Everyone watch it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and fucking watch that right now.
It's so good.
Yo, this is the first episode of the Younger Hunger Book Club, but it's TV show club, movie club.
Yeah.
We're going to watch this show and talk about it next week. And if you watch it and you have questions, tell us about it. So you can watch it too, and you can watch along with us.
Younger Hunger Book Club.
The Younger Hunger Movie Club, show club, whatever you want to call it. The Cuties Club.
You know, I just picked up a book. My girlfriend picked up a book for us. It's like a 101 facts about movies or something, or filmmaking. And
Nice.
one of the things was that you can call, they're like, no matter what, if it's a TV show, if it's a movie, it's a show. You call it a show. We're filming a show. Okay? That's what they said.
No matter what.
So technically, if it's show club, Younger Hunger Show Club,
yeah.
according to this book,
It's
which
still-
I didn't check the credibility at all. I have no idea who wrote this, but it seemed right. It sounded right.
Yo.
So the Younger Hunger Show Club.
The show club. The show and tell. Show, don't tell. One time I had someone I was dating at the time bring over like pages or just show me like Kama Sutra poses. Not
Nice.
poses, sex
Nice.
positions. They were all terrible. They were all fucking horrible. I'm sorry. I know this is like a science. I know this is fucking the oldest book in the world and everyone uses it. It was just like, it's like a bit of weird art. Like it just was fucking weird, bro. It was like crane stance shit, like Daniel-san. Yeah, I don't know. Uncomfortable. So that's all I know about books. Sorry, you said the word book, and that was the one thing.
That's the one book you've read.
That's the one book I've read in the
Kama
past 10 years.
Sutra.
And I didn't even read it. I just looked at the pictures.
Look at the picture.
Yeah. I didn't even. Maybe that was my problem.
Book.
Maybe I was missing important details. That's like something that you see online, like, oh, we'll do Kama Sutra because that's so romantic, and it's actually like really not cool to do. It's like super fucking dorky. It's actually so fucking lame for me at that point. So sorry, everyone. But not really. Sorry, I just have to redact anyone. I have to redact my statement for anyone who might get offended by what I just said. So.
Well, you're allowed to have an opinion.
Okay, I take it all back. Or do I?
And if you want to see pictures of those attempted poses, they'll be right here. Edited in.
Here's one.
Yo, I have a...
Here's one.
Nice.
That one felt bad.
Flexible.
Yeah.
You got to be in really good shape for that.
Here's one. That
I
was
can't
not real.
put my foot that far.
I can put my foot behind my head. Haven't done it in years, though, so I don't know if I still can. I'm just going to say I can, and I don't want to try.
I've seen him do it. I can
used to do
corroborate
it.
the story.
It used to be like my party trick, you know?
Yeah. That is someone who can do that will do that as soon as they can. As soon as they can work it. As soon
I've
as
seen
they
Tony
can
do
work
it
it into a conversation.
So many times.
Yeah.
It will be done.
Well, when I figured out I could do it, I got chills. I was like, oh my God, finally.
Yeah.
Finally, there's something that I can do that other people, because I didn't have any double joints. I didn't have any, like,
that's
that
true.
one kid at school was like, look. And they can, like, it's like, it's like they can bend their entire hand backwards.
There's
And it's
always
like,
that kid at school
oh.
that's like, look. They just turn to Gumby and you're like,
Yeah,
no.
that's crazy.
So, I mean, then that's awesome talent.
I have a story. I want to get to this.
Yeah.
This would be a good way to close
Wait, you
it.
did have an
are we
epic
done?
talent.
Yeah. Well, I have a crazy story that happened to me today.
Yes.
That really is the most on-brand Younger Hunger.
my God.
As it was happening, I was angry, and then I got gleeful because I was thinking about the fact that this is going to be the best podcast content ever.
Yes, Tony
So-
came in, and I came in, and Tony was like, I got a story. I'm going to save it for the podcast. I'm not even going to fucking tell you. So
Yeah, because
I'm excited.
I'm excited for the reaction I'm going to get from certain people in this room.
Oh, God.
Okay, so
Look at zoom in on the look.
I
over
don't
at
want to
Becky.
talk about it. I don't want to talk.
You have to.
I don't want to talk about it, but I pulled the trigger. I got a gym membership.
Oh, no.
Shit.
bastard.
I got a gym membership. And I got it at and Becky doesn't know this, the exact same gym.
Wait, you don't?
And I actually this morning, because I was so nervous about telling you, I waited for you to come home from the gym.
I saw you. You were out on the porch when I got home.
I was up at 6 a.m. and I wanted to go to the gym. I was like, oh, I can't go back to sleep. I'm going to go to the gym. And I was like,
shut the fuck up.
This isn't even the story.
You fucking.
I watched you.
You got a gym membership.
I waited until Becky got home, and he took a fucking long time, by the way. This guy is no joke. He was at the gym for like 2 hours.
You can look at this guy for 1 second and says, yeah, he spends 2 hours at the gym. Like, of course.
I'm so glad it came clean. The fact that I wasn't even going to talk about
You're waiting. You got a gym membership at this place, and now you won't go because he's going, and you're waiting.
I didn't want him to know. I was embarrassed.
That's so funny.
I'm so fucking weak, and now... And I've always been like, oh, I don't give a fuck.
Were you waiting outside? Because you were on the porch when I walked home.
That's like cringy in the most adorable way.
I waited. I waited for you to come home. And then I was like, I'm in the clear, baby. I'm going to the gym. And then so I was like,
the clear.
And I haven't gone to the gym. I got to tell you, it's been years. It's been since, it's been 4 to 5 years since I've been to the gym. Since I've stepped inside a gym.
Okay.
And I was like, God, I'm going to hate this. But I don't know why. The other night I was just like, buying the gym. I'm going to buy it right now. So
let's just buy it.
This is important to the story, okay? I bought the gym membership online before I went. Okay. So I didn't even occur to me that I might need to bring my wallet, right? But I got there, and there was this lady there, okay? And she was like, there's like plexiglass, and everyone's wearing masks, which is kind of strange. Just at this time,
right now,
because people aren't really doing that here.
Yeah, people are kind of holding off
as much. I haven't been to a store where it was really gnarly. It was like right when COVID hit, like that kind of energy of like, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Right,
and this is fucking scary.
And it's like they never reeled it back from that.
No, and there was loud music playing, and then I was in a gym, so people are dropping weights and shit. So I couldn't hear anything. So I'm this lady's like, and I'm like, what? Like, what? And she's like, come on. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. So she came out all frustrated, and she was like, can I help you?
Because now it's the third time she has to say something.
And I'm like, that's not what you just said.
She's from the Black Lodge.
I don't know what you said, but I know that wasn't it.
She is in the Black Lodge.
So can I help you? I was like, yeah, I bought a gym membership. I'd like to use the gym. And she was like, okay, do you have some ID? And I was like, oh, shit, I don't have any ID. And she was like, come with me. And I was like, what? And I went to this little room, and I went to go sign some papers. Presumably you had to do that because it's the same gym as Beckett.
Oh, my
God. So I'm signing these damn papers, and she's like, can you prove, like, how do you know? And she's really, I'm doing her voice wrong. She was talking a lot. She was really frantic. She was talking like this. And she was like, the first thing she said to me after, can I help you? Okay, we're going to the room. And then as we're walking to this room, she points to this picture. Did they do this with you? She pointed to this picture, and she's like, that's my mom. She's the longest running owner of this gym. For the last 65 years, she's owned it.
I did not get that.
Okay, dude, this was so, I was like, okay, like, you know, I was being polite. So I was like, wow. But really in my head, I was thinking, oh my God, I don't care. Oh my God, I don't care. So we were walking going to the thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was being nice. I have to say, sometimes I'm shitty, but this was not one of those times.
Yeah.
I was being amicable. And she was like, so you don't have your wallet? And I was like, no, but I already paid. She's like, I need to see some ID. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to look, and I'm looking on my phone, and my phone's dying, but I'm like, fuck, is there like an ID photo on here, a picture of my ID? I'm like, no, there's nothing on here. And she's like, okay, let's just like open up your Facebook. And I was like, I don't have Facebook.
Oh, that's the fucking...
And then so she's like, well, how about is there anything online that we can see that would tell me that your face is your name? Like, this is you.
Famous
and I'm
birthdays.
like, I was like, well, I was like, I don't know. Google me.
Please be famous birthdays.
I don't know. I could Google myself. I said like this, and I said it like this, okay? I said, I could Google myself. I just, and I didn't mean it. She led me there. She said, is there anywhere online?
She was baiting you.
And I wasn't like, not because I'm in a band, not because
be like Google me. Yeah,
it wasn't like that at all. It was anyone in this situation. Like, if you Google anyone, you're likely going to see something.
It wasn't your first.
Sure.
I was like, let's just Google me or something. I said something to that effect. And she goes, and then she whispered, she really wanted to help me out. So she came close and she goes, you sound like a giant douche right now. I'm not fucking kidding. She told me I sound like a giant douche. She said, I just want to warn you, like, don't ever tell anyone else that. Because you sound like a giant douche, is what she said.
Oh, I know where this is going.
And I just for a second I saw red, and then it stopped, and then I stopped and I started laughing, and I was just like, okay, that's just so fucking stupid. But then I was like, okay, and I started laughing, and I was like, all right. And I was like, well, I guess I don't have ID for you.
I'm
and
sorry.
She was like, it's okay. You know what? And she felt bad for me at that point because I was a giant douche and I had no idea.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you're being an asshole. It was like you don't want to tell anyone else that because
you could come off like a giant.
I know social interactions, okay, and you don't
And
clearly.
you don't.
And I'm like, dude, I didn't say it like that.
Yeah.
I didn't say Google me. I'm not trying to impress you. And I was, but then anyway, she was weird, and she was fine. But then at the end of the thing, okay, so she signed all these papers. She's gonna let me into the gym. She goes, and there's only one rule at this gym, and the rule is there is absolutely no name calling or bullying of any kind. And I'm like, motherfucker, you just called me a giant douche.
She called you a giant douche.
She said I was a giant
fucking
douche.
Shit. We won't accept. No,
The
she was
hypocrisy.
saying. No, she was saying that people might think you're a giant douche. You see, there's a difference.
It's like
no,
it's the perfect kind of situation in our generation of just people. It's like, okay, your mom owns this gym. You're working here, and you're just you told me I'm a giant douche within 5 fucking minutes of meeting me, and I don't know you, like you don't know me, and you have zero self-awareness to realize that your one rule you broke within 5 minutes of, and it didn't even occur to her that she possibly
broke that
she's
rule.
exempt from
She
all rules.
immediately broke the rule.
She's working at her mom's fucking gym. Of course, the rules don't apply to her. The one rule that she made. I was so frustrated.
Rule is,
and then I got gleeful because I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna tell the fucking guys.
it's podcast day.
I'm gonna tell the guys, and then we're gonna, yeah." So anyway, that happened to me.
Applause. Holy fucking shit.
Well deserved.
I bet you could do an action replay of Beckett and I's reactions, our faces from when the moment you said douchebag, because I think we both were like I couldn't even I didn't know where that was going.
I can't make this shit up.
That was insane. No,
that's what she fucking. I didn't believe it at first. I was like, wait, did that just happen?
That encounter is like so. It's like nuanced enough. I totally believe it. Like that seems like something that it would just be like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. Like I just fell into this place where it's like, no, I'm not. I didn't mean to ask like, yo, Google me, but like you kind of led me to fucking. And then the fact that she calls you an asshole.
She said, is there anywhere online we can see, I could just see a picture of you? I'm like, okay, yeah, you just Google me. Just Google me. You'll see that my face is going to pop up. I didn't say like my band. I didn't
bro, Google me.
I wasn't like, yeah, you ever heard of Younger
Famousbirthdays.com?
Yeah.
I wasn't like, go check my net worth. I was like, go fucking... Nothing else to be said.
Holy fuck.
Well, did you have a good workout besides that?
Yeah, was the pump...
You know what?
Was it a good pump?
This gym, I enjoyed it.
And you'll be going back?
I genuinely enjoyed it. It was the most like Silver Lake gym of all time.
Okay.
It was like, it's so haggard and it's like straight out of Portlandia. It's great.
Oh, hell
it's
yeah.
great.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It's like very like anti-meathead vibe, even though there were meatheads there.
Yeah, I like that.
It wasn't much of like a. You know
But
what I mean?
It's like oat milk protein, you know?
Yeah, and every machine is from like the 1920s or something. Like,
Yeah.
and like, how old is this shit? Like, it's so. And she's like, now this is vintage. She was showing me like the pulleys, and it's like, well, I guess you're not like. I thought it was funny because it's like, well, I don't like. That's not one thing that you would need to be.
You don't
vintage.
want that to be vintage. Yeah, you don't want like vintage food. You wouldn't.
It was
That's not something. Yeah,
It was like that. It was like, well, this is like a vintage. This used to belong to. And then she started name dropping people.
yeah.
And then she starts name dropping famous people. She's like, now my mom knew this guy. Do you know who this actor is? This is from his house.
So now
and she
you're
starts
literally-
pointing it out, and I'm like, do you not like? She no understanding of the fact that she is.
She is
committing
doing
the
the
very
thing
crime.
that she accused you of doing when she said you were being a giant asshole. or a giant douchebag. Sorry. Oh my God.
She was giving me a tip.
Wow.
She was helping me out.
She was. I like how she framed it.
And that was the most offensive part.
She framed it.
It was that she was helping me.
She was helping you out.
She was helping me.
She was helping me. She framed it.
And you know what? I forgive you. If you're watching this for any reason because you finally decided to Google me, I forgive you. And I'm sure we're going to be great friends.
And we'll see you tomorrow, probably.
Yeah. Not at the same time. We'll see you separately.
I'm already sore. I'm I'm going to be just complaining, and I'll probably never go back.
Yeah. Beckett will see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. and Tony at 7 p.m. So see you separately.
Wow. And we will see the rest of the All Talk people on Wednesday.
Yes. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This has been All Talk with Younger Hunger. Check us out. We're going to do it again next week like we do. We'll have sorts of all fun. This is a fun time. Right. We had music talk, life talk, all talk, baby. Let's go.
All right, you douchebags.
Yeah.